What's up, everybody? This is Fat Boy Chronicles, and this shit, ooh, I done got my Kurt Franklin on. It's finna be delicious. Hey, what's that saying they say every year around St. Patrick's Day? Aaron go bra? Nah, Black Lives Matter. But we are gonna do something to kind of represent, food flavors around this time of year. So one of my favorite things to eat is corned beef, and that's a classic St. Patrick's Day meal. So I also love Reuben sandwiches. So we're gonna kind of go do a flip on that, and we're gonna make Reuben Eggrolls. So this is kind of an Ireland meets Asia kind of fusion kind of thing, but no, it's gonna be delicious. All right, for this, we're gonna need some corned beef. I bought this corned beef the other day, put it in the slow cooker, cooked it down, let it render all that fat. I'm saving that juice because we're gonna use it later. It was on sale, $1.99 at Aldi. We're gonna need a good mayonnaise, Thousand Island dressing, mustard. I have two mustards here. I have a stone ground mustard. Check out those seeds, those mustard seeds in there. And then I also have a beer mustard, some Swiss cheese, some sauerkraut, some onions, some egg rolls. I got a little pastrami here because I think I'm going to do two different versions here because I love pastrami. Pastrami and corned beef, they're from the same cut of meat. They're both brisket. However, the pastrami is peppered and then smoked, and then the corned beef is just brine. So it's a little different. I got a little dill, some butter for my egg roll, and then that's it. All right, y'all, if you know me by now, you should know what this is. If you don't, it's bacon fat, right? So I just, saved a little bacon fat. Getting this in my skillet to start with my onions. I have two onions that I'm gonna brown and slowly allow to caramelize. And then I'm gonna put some whiskey in there and get that all good and flavored up to add as a filling for our egg roll. All right, with onions go in, I have one red onion and one white onion. And then you're just gonna let these go. You don't need to do anything to them except stir them every few minutes just to let them cook on low because you want these to get a nice deep caramel to them. All right, while my onions are going and you can see they're starting to caramelize, this is actually the liquid that was the corned beef liquid. So yes, it's a little bit of fat in here because fat is flavor. So I didn't skim it all off. I skimmed the big pieces off, but I'm just gonna add a little bit of liquid. And this is gonna help just to intensify the flavor of the onions and just to add another depth of flavor. Hey, we're marrying all the flavors with the corned beef, the cabbage, the onions, all that good stuff. This is 15 to 20 minutes of cooking these onions. As you can see, they have cooked down substantially. Now they are full of natural sugar. Those red onions are full of natural sugar. And then that corned beef juice just helped to intensify that flavor. So we could end here, but we're not. We're gonna add another layer of flavor, right? So it's St. Patrick's Day, everybody wants to be Irish. My surname is Irish. A lot of black people's surnames are Irish, right? It was given to them by their owners when they were slaves. And actually, the reason why a lot of them have those last names like that is because their owners gave them that name so they could identify them as their property, right? And even after the 13th Amendment, a lot of slaves, they decided to keep those names in order to reveal like where they were from, in hopes of like reconnecting with other family members and stuff that was sold off. But it's not about that. But if you all ever want to check out more history, check out Nico Jefferson, History No Chaser. He has all the information you ever want about black history. But this ain't that, this cooking, right? So for these onions, we are gonna add a shot of whiskey to the onions, just for another layer of flavor, all right? All right, guys, what you're looking at is some sauerkraut. So I squeezed as much liquid as I could out the sauerkraut, and then I put it in the strainer as well and let it sit for a while because you want to make sure you have no liquid in your sauerkraut. All right, I'm not a huge fan of sauerkraut. It's a little too sour for me. So what I did just to make it a little more palatable for me is I added some brown sugar, and then I also, just to add just another layer of flavor, I added some dill. I'm gonna mix this up and just let it sit for a moment. All right, so I took about, I don't know how much corned beef this is, but enough where it's gonna taste good. All right, so I took some corned beef and I actually shredded it to go with the grain, which, they always tell you is a cardinal sin, but I kind of wanted a little stringy, and then I chopped it across. So we have some pretty coarse chunks here. We're gonna add this to our sauerkraut. All right, in a bowl, I have mixed mayonnaise, my two different mustards. Remember, that is a stone ground mustard, and then that's a beer mustard. That beer mustard is really good. You want to do it. And again, we're doing Irish flavors. So it's an Irish beer in there. And then we have some Thousand Island dressing. So we're going to take all these. Now, you're going to ask me, like, how much of it did you put in there? I don't know. I just went to the spirit, told me to stop. So we're going to mix it in, and we're going to mix this with our filling, our corned beef and sauerkraut filling. All right, y'all know me. I'm always experimenting, right? So it was really good together, but I felt like it needed a little sweetness. So I did add a little bit of a good fall honey just to give it a little more deeper flavor. All right, so what's in here? You got your mustard, your mayonnaise, your Thousand Island dressing, and then a little bit of honey. Let me taste it real quick. I'm going to taste it off screen. Hey, I tasted it. Hey, it tastes really good. Really, really good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add this to our corned beef and our sauerkraut. Now, we're not going to put a whole lot. This is just going to add just some moisture and just, it's like a binder almost. You do not want to add a lot of liquid in here because you're going to make your egg rolls. And if it's too liquidy, then they're going to fall apart. They're not going to fold well. It's going to ooze all out the sides. You're going to have a mess. So we're just going to add a little bit. And then the other part is going to be a dipping sauce. So we're going to add a little bit more flavor when we make our dipping sauce. But for right now, for our binder, this is good. All right, so we have what our meat, our sauerkraut, our sauce, and then we got these good Alfred Wooded looking onions over here. We're gonna add this, and then our filling will be done. Hey, I tasted it. It tasted amazing, but I think I wanted just a little more kick to mine, so I added just a little cayenne pepper. If you don't like spice, leave this part out. But we're just gonna mix it, and then we're gonna get ready to roll our egg rolls. All right, now it's time to wrap our egg rolls. So I got these from Jewel. Don't let the name vegan scare you. It scared me. I was looking like, hey, can I get the non-vegan kind? But they only come vegan. But that's cool. It's cool. All right, so we're just gonna take our wrapper. We're gonna set it up like a diamond almost, and we're almost gonna go like a third in. This is my Swiss cheese. And then I'm gonna take about a tablespoon of filling. I'm gonna plop it right there on the cheese. And then we're gonna pretend like we're in college. And we're gonna roll these up like we used to roll up other stuff. All right, I'm gonna attempt to show you all how to do this. All right, remember I said you're gonna pretend like you're in college. Good times, good times. We're gonna set up our egg roll almost in a diamond. And then we're gonna take it, tuck it about a third of the way. Take in the sides, fold those. And then we're just gonna roll and make sure the seam side is down. And you should have something that looks like this. We're gonna put a seam size down in a pan. All right, so I have 8 egg rolls, actually 7 egg rolls, because this one here is my pastrami one. So I took some pastrami, some Havarti, and some bacon and those caramelized onions, and I made a little special egg roll. I would put these in the refrigerator because, as you can see, some of these are not rolled the tightest. And that was probably the most embarrassing thing in college for somebody to be like, who rolled this, right? I rolled these, and I probably could have rolled these a little tighter, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna baste these in butter, and I'm gonna bake them on 400 degrees for about 15 minutes, about 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm not gonna fry it. Now, if you were gonna fry these, you would definitely wanna make sure that they are rolled really tightly, because if not, all the contents are gonna fall out in your grease. You can also use the air fryer with these, but I'm just gonna bake these for 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. All right, so I grease these down with butter so that they can get nice and brown. You do not want light skin egg rolls. Now, nothing against my light skinned brothers and sisters out there. I love y'all. Black lives all matter. But I don't like my food light skin. I like my food nice and Alfred Woodard and Wesley Snipes. So you want to make sure that you put enough butter on there that it'll brown in the oven. It's dessert time. I know y'all thought I forgot. I didn't. All right, so we're gonna make an Italian dessert, tiramisu, but we're gonna make it a Irish way. So a little hodgepodge of different cultures, but it's still gonna be good. All right, so fun fact about me, I cannot bake. I'm just not a baker. So this is gonna be a no-bake dessert, but I have an amazing appreciation for cakes and pies. I have a sweet tooth. All right, so matter of fact, I literally took a whooping just because I couldn't stop eating cake. All right, but so if you are interested in cake, though, check out my sister. She got cakes. Check out Michael Johns. He has probably one of the best red velvet cakes I ever had. Check out RJ Smith. He also makes amazing pound cakes. So it's a lot of good bakers out here. I'm just not one of them. But we're gonna make this real quick tiramisu the Irish way. Follow me. All right, for this dessert, we're going to need 2 bowls. 1 bowl for our mascarpone cheese, 1 bowl for our whipping cream. The bowl for our whipping cream was in the freezer for a little while just so it can get nice and cold. Like I just said before, mascarpone cheese. We have some heavy whipping cream, some powdered sugar, some Irish cream. There goes that Irish element. Some espresso, some Madeleines. I know that traditionally tiramisu is made with ladyfingers, but I don't like ladyfingers, so I'm using Madeleines. And then a good vanilla extract. Stop using imitation vanilla extract. And then some dark chocolate. And that's all we need. All right, heavy whipping cream, powdered sugar, and vanilla extract in a bowl. And we're going to whip it until it forms stiff peaks. Boom, homemade whipping cream. And make sure you don't whip it too much, otherwise you'll have butter on your hands. But there you go, you get homemade whipping cream. In your other bowl, you're gonna take mascarpone cheese, just a little powdered sugar, not too much. And then I just did a little dollop, just a little shot of fresh lemon juice. And we're gonna beat this. All right, I also added 1 ounce of the Irish cream. And then we're going to gently now fold this. Now you're gonna fold one into the other. All right, so you guys want to make sure that you are gently folding and combining the two and not overworking it, but just gently folding to get air in there and to incorporate both the mascarpone cheese and the whipping cream. Now, mind you, this is not traditional tiramisu, but so what? This is my version. Shut up. All right, so let this sit in the refrigerator to get nice and cold. All right, y'all, our egg rolls came out the oven. They're looking really good. All right, so I'm gonna let these cool off for a minute. And while they're cooling off, we're gonna move on to our tiramisu. So what I have is some Madeleines. If you don't know what they are, they look like this. They're just shortbread cookies, so you can use really any kind of shortbread. And we're just gonna do a quick dip in our espresso. And I just got 2, I don't drink coffee. So I just got 2 shots of espresso from the store that everybody gets coffee from. You already know what it is. And then I added some Irish cream to it. So we're just gonna do a dip, roll it around in there, let it soak up that flavor real quick, not too much, and then we're gonna put it in a glass, like that. And I'm gonna do this 3 times. All right, so what we did is we put our Madeleines in our mixture here. We just let them absorb that good espresso. And ladies and gentlemen, use an espresso. Don't just get a coffee. Just go to the store that everybody gets their coffee from and just ask for 2 shots of espresso, and it's worth it. And then plus you have the sweetness of that Irish cream. So it's really going to do something. This is not going to be a really sweet dessert, but it's going to be a really good dessert. Same thing with the cream. I made sure it wasn't too sweet. So put some cookies at the bottom of a glass. And then we're going to put a little cream. Let that get down in there. We'll make it pretty later, right? But we'll put that in there. And then we'll do another layer of cookie and just layer it up. All right, our Irish cream tiramisu is in the refrigerator. Well, it was in the refrigerator. And you can see it looks good. You can always just serve it in the glass. Real simple, no fuss, no muss dessert. And then all we do is have our chocolate. Now this is 70% cacao, so this is a dark chocolate. It's not really, really sweet. Like I said, I don't really like sweet desserts. And all we're gonna do is take our little file thing here, whatever it's called, and shave some chocolate on top. All right, so while things are cooling off for the dessert, I went ahead and chopped my corned beef in half, the egg rolls in half. Take a look at here. Man, this looks good. It's full of meat. You got that good sauerkraut in there. It's cheesy. And then we also have our sauce. So the same sauce we put in the egg roll, all we did, I just put a little Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of lemon just to give it a little pucker. And then we're going to dip the egg rolls in the sauce. All right, here comes the moment of truth, the part that everybody waits for, the part where we eat, right? So here it is. I'm excited. All right, so we have our Reuben Eggrolls. Check that out, y'all. That's meat and cheesy and all that stuff in there. It's gooey. All right, let's try it. So I'm going to dip it with my sauce here. Hey, that's good too. That corned beef, yeah, if you don't buy like the corned beef from the deli, make you some corned beef. It makes all the difference. That corned beef is really rich. That sauerkraut cuts some of that richness with that brininess, that Swiss cheese, that gooiness. If I would do anything different, I would probably add a little bit more cheese, just, you know, so get some of that extra gooiness. That sauce is really good. This sauce is really, really good because it's got that mustardy flavor. If you like mustard, this sauce is a banger. All right. 2 thumbs up. But like I said, you know this shit was gonna be delicious. All right, so egg rolls. If you like Reubens, you definitely want to make these. Now let's move on to this dessert. This is our fake ass tiramisu, our Irish version of the tiramisu, right, with the chocolate shavings on the top. And really, I kind of want to cleanse my palate or something because that was savory. That was really, really savory and really good. These egg rolls are really good, but we're gonna go to sweet now. All right, let me get into this. Oh, and make sure you gotta let this sit in the refrigerator for a while. And if you're gonna let it sit overnight or something like that, which is completely cool, make sure you wrap it in plastic wrap so that, you know, your tiramisu don't taste like refrigerator or like whatever's in the refrigerator. You don't want your tiramisu to taste like salmon croquettes or something. All right, so got a little cookie on here, a little cream on here. That's good. It's crunchy, it's velvety, it's sweet, it's a little bitter to it. You get that Irish cream, that kick of that Irish cream. It's chocolatey. That Irish cream always really pairs well with anything that's chocolate. This is also really, really good. So again, guys, it's St. Patrick's Day. Our little take on it, something different, right? So you try it at home. When you try it, let me know how it is. And then until next time, all right? I told you, this shit's gonna be delicious. All right, till next time. See y'all.